So we're going looking at a rank 88 Windranger building Meteor Hammer as her first item. Is this a meme build or is it genuinely something serious? So we'll find out in this video. So she plays at position 4, and really what she's trying to do at the start is to harass with the other support so that Slardar, her offlaner, can pretty much get easy farm against against the Spectre here. So pretty much once Slardar has a couple of levels, he's able to withstand himself. Quap is forcing Storm Spirit out of lane, and Windranger has put down a ward here up on top of the cliff and ends up catching the Storm Spirit here, which ends up being a pretty easy kill. And this is a very good exploit of vision, plus also knowing the matchup of Storm versus Quap, that Quap dominates very hard. So here you'd think that Windranger would go for the power shot, but she's not greedy. She knew that Quap was actually teleporting, good awareness of what her teammates were doing, and that power shot actually ended up hitting before the Phoenix jumped, so that's also quite good timing there. Now what is not good timing is this trained protector who kind of goes in a little bit too early and Spectre gets away. So the Windranger was going in the right idea there, but just kind of missed timing of her team. So this clip keeps going. Windranger goes for the bounty rune here for 10 minutes, position herself. Phoenix is here, and she knows that Phoenix's dive does not disjoint the projectile of the shackle and keeps chasing after him, and pretty much is a pretty easy kill because Phoenix has no escape now. They go for the other bounty rune, which they end up finding Snapfire, and poor old Cinderin here tries to jump over the gap, but he gets shackled first. Now if you did this the other way around, where you power shot first, you would pretty much just destroy the trees that where you need to shackle them onto. So that would have been a really stupid idea to try and just go in for like first damage, and you really need to stun first. So Storm is pushed up pretty far, they're smoked. A few minutes later, Quap goes in first with a power shot, and just as the knockback is happening, as the knockback ends, we have the Windranger actually missing her power shot. She dodges the egg here, just going out of range, and there you'd think she'd actually use the power shot on Batrider to try and guarantee a kill. However, her teammates had so much damage already, she calculated in that short time that it's better to power shot the Storm. Not only does it zone him out with a team fight, but it also is a much more valuable kill that does a lot more damage here as well. A lot more gold you get for killing Storm versus killing the Batrider. And Snapfire actually gets away because of a missed power shot there. Now Windranger's going in on another one. They ended up seeing Spectre farming top, and we have a pretty nice play here by Snapfire, which and the Batrider dodging out of that shackle shot to bait it out. Now Windranger in particular has a very nice disengagement there. She knows that her biggest weakness is magic damage, and there's no point to overcommitting. Now here as well, she's constantly backing off, and this is a very good example of good positioning. So now Spectre's after using her ultimate, and instantly what Windranger decides to do is move her camera down to Spectre, check where she is, and thinking about ganking. Now they do have really good vision around this place, and which is credit to Windranger, which now catches the Snapfire, and this is pretty much again another pretty easy kill. Now we have Storm jumping in, and kind of catching him here. Could have got like a double shackle if she positioned herself a little bit better rather than going for right clicks. But other than that, this is a pretty okay fight. It's not great, like they did lose heroes, and it was kind of like an even trade, but it's better than playing passive. Now one thing I want to point out about this Windranger build is that it heavily favors around the idea of your level 10 talent, you go for the -2 shackle shot duration. So you see that she has a perseverance, but she didn't build her tranquil boots, and this just kind of gives you a good sustain of both health and mana, whereas alternatively you'd be going for the plus mana regen talent at level 10 if you were playing more of a core build. But with this Meteor Hammer now completed, she probably isn't going to use it here, but she's going in pretty deep. We also have Trained Protector, they're all chasing after her, and this is just really bad position. She got caught like really hard, and she's going to just die here straight after this. So now again contesting this vision, and her teammate is pretty much in a stick situation and pretty much constantly backing off. Now they're actually trying to bait in because they know the Batrider is just looking for a kill here, and she wants to even get caught by the lasso here because she thinks she can escape. She uses the Ring of Essence, and Quap goes back in with a really big ult here, and Windranger is pretty much focusing the egg here, and they just about kill the egg and she gets out. Without that essence ring being used at the start to give her extra health, she would have just died there. Now she ends up sticking around to go for a power shot here, and Spectre comes pretty close to killing her, 100 health extra, and she just goes back to the fountain, heals up. So here's an example of what you can do with Meteor Hammer. So they're after breaking the backdoor protection. She focus fired plus Meteor Hammer. This is going to be a really nice way of like just killing towers very. Now here's another play with Meteor Hammer, which doesn't really work out because there isn't any turnaround. Her teammates are still teleporting in. The Queen of Pain's Aegis is gone now. And this is where things get a little bit interesting because she has a blink dagger now as well at this point. So watch where her blink dagger goes. She blinks in, she focus fires the Batrider and then blinks in. And this blink dagger was not used for any like repositioning for her shackle. She hits a shackle there onto Spectre but doesn't actually latch onto anything. So these are like a misplay totally with his blink dagger. So the Meteor Hammer isn't really coming into much use here. It's pretty much for stats at this point. And it's not really coming into much avail at so far in like these fights, and it's not really a necessary item either. So here's again going in, pushing this tower. She's trying to wait for the creep wave here and trying to hit the creep wave at the same time. A slight mistime here, but a good idea, and pretty much gets the other tier 1 tower and finishes this off. Now our team are taking a fight on mid. They actually got like initiated on, and Windranger's moving down. She's actually now going power shot, blinks in, does a shackle, but she's again got like a pretty bad overcommitted position here, and Spectre can defuse a blade. There's also a Scatty, I think, on Spectre it might have been, and pretty much the Windranger can't escape because she used Windrun before she blinked in, and pretty much you don't have a very good escape. And also because of this build, now she's going for physical damage. The big disadvantage is that you don't have something like a Force Staff or other mobility stuff. So again here she used Windrun to close in, and she goes for a damage build with the pretty much I think she's going for MKB, and because the Batrider teleported in there, that's why she actually power shot. She tried to kill the creep before Batrider's teleport came in. So this is not the greatest play, but it's trying to put pressure on the map, trying to get like this solo play to maybe open up into something. So Batrider uses his ult here to start a fight outside the Roche pit. Windranger is standing at the edge, pretty much waiting for the egg to go, and Luna is dead. So this is really not a fight that you want to be taking here. Luna has a lot of their damage at this point, but they really don't want to give up Roche. Quap gets gone on a quick blink in plus shackle from Windranger, but it ends up being kind of a pointless shackle because Trian threw down his ultimate as well. And pretty much Windranger is sitting up in the back here, and she actually has her camera focused somewhere else, and Storm gets her. So this is a big disadvantage of not going for something like BKB. And she buys back now, and pretty much she just runs back in and dies. So one of the big things with Windranger is that if you are playing some sort of support, you're not going to have very good levels, and the enemy will always get ahead in you, whether it's the mid laner or the carry, and you always are not going to have great items either, which is kind of essential to this hero. So if you don't have any like physical damage you can output, you get killed by something like Snapfire's ultimate, or something like Phoenix, or even silenced by Storm. You start to see how the crowd control becomes very useless. You don't scale very well into the later parts of the game, and more importantly, if you look at what the enemy's position for was, it's the Phoenix, and the Phoenix is doing so much more for team fight oriented stuff, and that's where Windranger really comes downwards, is that you can't win these fights later on, and Phoenix ult in late game is super powerful. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want to see more Dota content like this, make sure you subscribe.